Imagine a planet where there is an incredible array of gorgeous life forms that are all integrated, that they all depend on each other. And the beauty is stupendous, it's astounding. But there's a species that is blind and basically can't see the beauty and doesn't know that the planet is actually exceptionally divine and just wants to use whatever they can for survival, for profit. That's not very different from where we're living right now, is it? Come to think of it. So that's an interesting story. That's a story that we might meditate on. We might think, all right, so we human beings do kind of rush around in a dither. We do kind of refuse to look left or right and see the beauty of the mountains and the sun on the mountains and the animals around them and the plains and the forests and even other human beings. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. What we seem to have is a situation where we ourselves are lacking in vision. We ourselves are so small in our ability to realize where we are, how how essentially valuable it is, and not just for profit, not just to make money off of, but valuable to the soul. If we evolve into a species that doesn't know it has a soul or refuses to accept that it has a soul, and it does that because it can't see it and doesn't want to see it, well, what's going to happen to that planet? What's going to happen to all that beauty? What's going to happen to all of those plants and animals and life forms? It's something to think about. It's something that we live in the midst of without really paying much attention to it. So, where do we start with that? I think we need to start with ourselves. I think we need to start with how we ourselves see or don't see, feel or don't feel, value or don't value. This is this is a subject that not many people talk about, at least in our culture. When the Europeans came to these shores and tried to figure out how to live, the natives were pretty shocked because these people were kind of deaf and dumb and blind to the world itself. And they didn't have this sense that What they were looking at was sacred. Their idea of sacred was in some kind of dictum, some kind of commandment from an invisible God, and that God didn't want them to enjoy their lives, that God was against pleasure and sex and beauty, that God was only interested in dominance and profit. And those people came to take over that whole country. And they used the land in a way it had never been used. They tried to kill all the buffalo. They killed as many of the native people as they could. They imported Africans to use their labor without regard for their souls. Who were these people? Where did they come from? And why have they taken over the planet? This is a big problem for the planet. The planet doesn't know what to do. The only way this is going to be warded off, the future that we are looking at, as if we're looking down the barrel of a gun, the only way it's going to be warded off is people are going to have a change of heart. Change of heart. Sure, we can change our ideas. We can believe something else. We can adopt a whole different schema of ideas. But if we don't have a heart, we're in big trouble. So I think that our present situation is that story of that planet in trouble. I don't think we can shrug and look the other way. I don't think we can just say somebody will handle it, but not me. I think we're going to have to, all of us, have a sense of responsibility and caring. Just that. And if we can get to that place in ourselves, we might have a chance. Something to think about.